A lot of people don't know, but when Gracie was born, she had to have surgery the day after she was born. And I'm going to backtrack. My baby was perfectly healthy little girl. So around when I was 7 months pregnant, I started getting high blood pressure, and they put me on some blood pressure medicine that was completely safe during pregnancy. It was called labetatol, and I took that every day. So I really did love getting all those ultrasounds because I have so many ultrasound photos of her. It's crazy. And I have a lot more ultrasounds than the average pregnant person, I guess, because I did have, I guess, I was considered high risk a little bit because of my high blood pressure. That is what I did. So 2 weeks before I was going to have her, I knew that I was going to have to get induced. So I was going to get induced around 39 weeks, but I think I was around 38 weeks when I had this one ultrasound. By this one leg. So at my very last ultrasound, I was around 38 weeks, and I was just a regular ultrasound that I always get every single week. I thought everything was going to be fine, but the lady was doing my ultrasound, and then they called a doctor in, and they told me that Gracie had a blockage in her small intestines, and I was so scared and so worried. So what they had me do, they transferred my care completely. I did not have the same OBGYN. I didn't have any of the same doctors. They transferred me to Johns Hopkins. So I was going to be delivering there with a bunch of new doctors because they had the best NICU team there. So that is what happened. I had a bunch of new doctors, and it was really scary because I didn't know anyone there, and it was in Baltimore. It wasn't the hospital I planned to have her at, and I really loved my doctor that I was going to deliver Gracie. So it kind of sucked because I didn't have any of the doctors or the hospital that I wanted, but as long as Gracie was in good hands and she was safe, that's all that mattered to me. It's not like I did something wrong. It was just something that happened. I don't know why. It was just something, and we were so scared. It was really scary. So when I was in the hospital being induced there, I was in labor for like 2 or 3 days, and then they called a C-section, and the C-section isn't because of her blockage. That's not why I had a C-section. I was just in labor too long, and it wasn't safe for me to be in labor anymore, so they called the C-section, and I went to have my C-section. And after, there was a big NICU team in there and everything, and after I saw her and everything, they had her go to the NICU, and she was in there for 9 days. So when I went home from the hospital after 4 days, she didn't come home with me, which was really upsetting, but I knew she was in good hands. I went there every single day to see her, and she was everything to me. And the surgery, the day after I had her, it went perfect. Everything was fine, and it wasn't a complete blockage. It was just a, I guess, part blockage. It wasn't a complete blockage, if that makes any sense at all. I know there were all these medical terms that I had no idea what they were talking about, and that is pretty much what happened. And she couldn't eat for a couple days because they wanted her stomach to heal, because she does have a scar across her stomach. So that was really sad because she couldn't eat, and I knew she was hungry, but all they could do is give her her pacifier and just keep her calm that way. It was really, really sad, and I was so scared because I always hear about people having perfect babies. Like, why did this have to happen to me? why me. I wanted her so bad, and I did everything right in my pregnancy that I could, but she had a blockage, but everything is fine now. She is perfect, and they said she will not have any issues later on in life or anything like that. I was lucky because I got ultrasounds every single week. I was lucky that I caught it early and I knew that she was going to need surgery, which was so scary because she was so little. She was 8 pounds 11 ounces when she was born, and everyone in the NICU, they said she was one of the biggest babies there. She was pretty big compared to all of them. And the reason why I did not want to tell anyone on the internet, because people are very judgmental, like so judgmental of things I eat, of things I do, of toys that I'm getting Gracie, and I just wanted to tell you guys now because it has been almost 6 months since I had her, and it was a very, very difficult time, and I was so scared, and I can't believe I didn't tell you guys because I told you guys now, so I'm really happy. I don't want to lie about it because it is something that happened and it was so scary. That's probably why my labor and delivery was very stressful, very scary, because I knew that she would have this surgery. And I guess what she had isn't uncommon. I've heard of babies having it. I looked online, I did a lot of research when I first found out that she was going to need the surgery and she had a blockage. So, and I couldn't be any happier because they fixed my little girl and she is absolutely perfect. All the doctors treated me so well, and everyone was super, super friendly and nice, and they treated Gracie so good. She was in such good hands, and when I wasn't at the NICU, I could call anytime asking for updates on Gracie because there was a certain nurse and doctor assigned to her. So that is my story. I didn't really get to see her too much when she was first born, and it took me 3 tries to go to the NICU to see her because I was so sore from my C-section, and the first time I tried to get up and go and get in the wheelchair, I almost fainted. So it took me 3 tries to get down there to see her, and it was like 3 a.m. and I was still trying to get up because I was in such pain with my C-section. So I finally did it, and I was so happy. So that is my story and what happened during my pregnancy with Gracie and my delivery. And I'm sorry about lying about it, but I wasn't ready to tell everyone because it was very personal and it was something that happened, and I was very scared to tell everyone because they probably would be like, oh my gosh, it's all your fault, you're a horrible mom, that's what you get, you deserve this. So I was not ready, but I am happy now, and I am ready to tell the world because maybe I could help someone in some way or another. My labor and delivery story. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. If I am, I'm sorry, but this is all I could think of right now. This is not about me. This is about my baby.